This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. We're here at the Gallagher's gym in Bolton. I'm joined by the man himself, that is Joe Gallagher. All set and prepared. I think 4 of your stablemates, or your fighters, fight on Saturday. How's preparation gone?
Yeah, really good. You've seen this morning how they've all been in doing a sharpen up session. It was 5, but Callum Thompson's had to pull out. He's been bitten by a dog and had to have a tetanus yesterday. So yeah, we're not taking no risks. He's got to be out in September anyway. So yeah, but the other 4 are all ready to go, as you're seeing today. They're all in good spirits and they're all looking forward to the day off tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. A few of them are. Talk to me about the 4 boxing this weekend. One man looking to get back on winning ways is the Hammer, Jose Burton. Just talk to me about his fight of the weekend. Is there opponent? Is there not an opponent? Can you tell us more?
Yeah, listen, we're still going on at the background. Jose Burton is a kid that I've had since 11 years age. Like I said, we all seen last time out. We all see that wasn't the real Ophi that was in there. Take nothing away from Dan Aziz, good fighter, huge fan of Dan Aziz. I like his work ethic, his dedication. But Ophi is dead at the weight. As you can see now, he's back at cruiserweight and been sparring very well. We just need to get him a win at the weekend, and then we'll be looking for the big fights for him. And he'll be ready to go in the mix with any of them. Riakpo, whoever you want to. Jack Massa, that's a massive Manchester fight. Before the end of the year, so it's just letting Ophi come back at cruiserweight, and he said he wanted to give it a go at cruiserweight, and I've always said the gap between 12.7 and 14.4 is still too big. That there needs to be that 13 stone 5, and the British Board of Control need to bring it in, because you've got people like Jose Burton and who's the Irish kid that lost in the box golden finger, but anyway, Taylor, he got beat, and a bit like Enzo Maccanelli, they were too big for light heavyweight but too small for cruiserweight, and that's where Ophi is at the moment. That 13.5 would be ideal, but he's moving up to cruiserweight, so he's got to be fighting 15.5 stone men boiling down, but it is what it is, and he wants to see how he gets on with it. So that's what this weekend's all about, getting him out there. He's been out the ring since November. And so he goes fighting the big men with the small gloves on, and hopefully comes through that, and we'll have a big fight for him before the end of the year. Macaulay
McGowan, to pronounce it correctly there, out last time, a fight that he could not have taken against Sergio Martinez in Madrid. It'd be good to get him back on winning ways at the weekend, but again, credit to him, great performance. Well, he really made a good performance of himself out there.
Yeah, he didn't let nobody down. Macaulay, let's say Sergio Martinez, he got the chance to share the ring legend, and he went over there, he acquitted himself well, switched off a little bit at times and got caught.
You're frustrated, I heard.
Yeah, frustrated, but listen, it was a big stage for him from where he's been, and then to be put on there, and he hasn't had it easy, Macaulay. There's nothing, you can't question Macaulay's bottle. He's went over and he's fought people abroad, and came back, fought then Kieran Conway, I think it was, and then also Sergio Martinez. So there's stuff about Macaulay. It's good to get him out, get him a fight, and start getting him in the title picture of an English title, something like that. So the kids, and like I say, Macaulay at the weekend, are all desperate to get out, get a fight, and start the season with a win. Also, Sean, you're actually out again. How good is he as a super welterweight? Yeah, Sean Yaxley, listen, he's a good kid. He's a talented amateur. He's got good potential. But like everything, everyone has potential. It's up to them to go and fulfil that. You've seen Mark Efron, he turned pro 12 years ago, when it's only now he's fulfilling his potential by winning British Commonwealth. So Sean Yaxley's in the gym, he's sparring well, he's done great sparring sessions with Mark Efron and Macaulay and Marcus Morrison. So being around that environment, sparring them type of kids is improving him. So same again at the weekend, he's having a fight, and then after that I've said to Kieran, listen, we need to let the reins off Sean and let him go and look at the picture, light middleweight division in this country, and see which way was the best way to move him. But he's there or thereabouts now, ready to be let off the leash. But he is a good talent, and hopefully he fulfills that.
You mentioned Mark Efron, back out September 24th in the Northwest on the Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker bill. Again, how big of a fight is that for him?
Yeah, it's great for Mark. Obviously, I think he's still on cloud 9. If you look up, you'll see him somewhere. He's floating into the gym at the moment. He broke a lot of barriers in his last fight. It was a tough training camp, and he's physically and mentally in a great place. And he walk in the gym, you just see a red hot fighter. and it's great that Frank can get him out so quick again. And yeah, there's a plan for Mark for his next 3 or 4 fights, and hopefully it ends up with a world title shot. So Mark's in a very good place, and yeah, he's training well.
Any news on that fight plan you can give us, or is that under wraps?
No, all under wraps, all under wraps.
Marcus Morrison, also the mini Joshua you said years ago, I think it was 2016, you said that is back out 168 pounds. Is that where you see him staying?
No, he's obviously he's fighting Denzel Bentley for the British title, middleweight title in September the 16th, your call. And that's it, but he's out this weekend. He's getting out. He hasn't fought since he fought Zach Parker, where he moved up, and it just showed Zach Parker was just too big and too good on the day. So Marcus's proper weight's back down at middleweight. So he's having a 4-rounder at the weekend, just to get rid of a bit of cobwebs, get a win, and then we go straight into the Denzel Bentley fight. I think it's 4 weeks later after that. So it's a huge fight. It's another road trip to London, and will it be another smash and grab for the gym this year?
Also, another fighter, she's not here today, but Natasha Jonas, homecoming on September the 3rd, Unification fight against Patricia Bergholt. That's the fight we all want, isn't it?
It is. Listen, it's a very hard fight. I wouldn't say I'm the most confident going into the fight. It is a very good fight. You've got to remember Natasha moved through the weight divisions, was promised a Hannah Rankin fight in May, so that's why Natasha didn't fight, and then extremely disappointed then for Hannah Rankin then to change lanes and let Natasha down when obviously Sky did a job of bringing her involved and doing a bit of punditry work to build the fight up just to go the other way. Sky aren't to blame, Ben Shalom Box aren't to blame. The offer was a monstrous offer, unbelievable offer, and I still can't believe how they never took that. But anyway, that's done with, and now she's got Patricia Berghout. Patricia Berghout was due to fight Cecilia Brackhouse. She's in shape, and her and Natasha's got to be a very good fight. WBC versus WBO, and in Liverpool for Natasha. I just wish they'd bring lockdown boxing back, because I could have Natasha in a hotel for a week. I'm not a fan really of them fighting at home, or I had it with Crawler in Manchester and Smith, because everyone's mithering them for tickets, and you find out that they've dropped this one off tickets here and dropped this one back here, and it wastes energy that I don't want to. And I keep saying to Natasha, get someone else to do the tickets for you, like I used to say at Crawler, and Crawler's little brother did it for him. So as long as she rests right and isn't going around doing Uber deliveries, so yeah, it's got to be a big night for her, and a huge celebration for Liverpool boxing to have Natasha Jonas come home and defend the world titles and challenge in Unification.
It's a tough fight. It's really, really tough. What is the game plan for her in that fight?
Well, Patricia Berghout was a good boxer. She was a good amateur for a long time as well. She's undefeated, has a good jab, a good stiff jab, power on the left hook. You watch a fight of Hannah Rankin. She drops Hannah Rankin in like the first minute of the fight, and won that convincingly. And she's a champion. She's a world champion, and when you win a world title, it gives you a confidence, and it gives you a bit of an air of invincibility. And I'm sure Patricia Berghout hasn't decided to come over here to give a belt up. She's coming over to win and win a Unification, and then look to crack on with whoever else then after that. So it's she's not taking it to lie down. She's coming to win the WBO in the same way that Natasha's going to try and win that WBC belt. And that's what I really do feel is a real good 50-50 fight. It's a fight that should go on the card the week later on the All Girls. But Natasha was adamant she wanted it to be in Liverpool and be the homecoming, because she said if she goes to London, there isn't enough of her family tickets available for her. So all the Jonases will all be out in effect at the Liverpool Arena on September the 3rd.
You've got to give her credit, though, in itself. It's a huge, huge fight, a huge, huge task when she perhaps could have taken on a lesser opponent. Again, breaking down those barriers.
Yeah, no, Tasha said to me when she won the world title, I said to her in the ring, do you want to do your announcement now and retire now? I said, I'm getting much better than this. And she goes, no. And since then, we've had conversations of fights, and she's adamant she just wants to be in big fights. She's wouldn't say she's getting on, but she's not the youngest, you understand, and she just wants to be in big fights. So the ranking fight was a big fight. This was a big fight. We spoke about possibly Jessica McCaskill, but I think she's fighting Chantal Cameron now. So it's, Natasha just wants the big fights, and who's not to say she might not move up again.
Obviously, I can't have you here without talking about the big fight in Jeddah on Saturday. It is AJ-Usyk 2. What do you make of this fight for AJ? How do you think it will get on in this one?
It's interesting because obviously AJ last time out, the corner was chaos. There was too many voices in the corner.
What do you make of that? Obviously, there has been a big change-up in the team. What did you make, first of all? What you saw on the broadcast, what did you make of what you saw?
I just thought there was no control in the corner. There was too many voices. There should only be one voice in the corner. And there's too many. You could hear 2 or 3 different voices, and there should only be one voice in the corner. And it's a shame to see Robert McCracken and AJ part ways. He was with him from day one all the way through. But at the same time, shouldn't really have allowed them number 2s and 3s coming in and be around him. He'd never allowed it with Carl Froch. And it happened, but obviously they've come in with a crane, lifted AJ out of there, brought him down south, and that's it. So they brought Garcia in, very good trainer, and we'll see what happens. And if AJ pulls it off, it was the right move. If he doesn't, then listen to Frank Warren the other day a little bit. You think to yourself, well, where does AJ go then if he loses as that? And like he said, the fights are a choice or a Parker or a Daniel Dubois.
Well, that's not on at the moment. They are talking about the Wilders and people like that, but at the moment...
I don't think AJ would go straight into a Wilder fight if he gets knocked out by Usyk at the weekend. I feel this isn't a case of a rematch like you see with Ruiz, where he just went and net himself. You think Usyk's just coming back. Usyk's training, he's fighting for his people, he's got live stream. He's not got that live stream for all the Ukrainians to watch him go and surrender. He's fighting for his country, he means so much more. And I do feel AJ, in the first fight, Usyk had AJ in trouble as early as I think it was round 2 or 3. And I don't think he put his foot to the floor. But at the end of the fight, when you see Usyk, he had a big cut down the forehead and he got caught of a few shots. I think Usyk this time thinks, if I get you this time earlier, I'm not taking a risk, I'm putting you to sleep. And I think that might be the case. But I think Anthony Joshua has got to do things differently. He's got to let his hands go. Loose isn't a case about power, it's about speed and not throwing single shots. It's got to be 2 and 3s and being able to do that in a second phase. I do feel with Anthony Joshua, he's a bit like Frank BRUNO in the sense that and nothing against Frank BRUNO's not, but in the big fights, that walk from the changing room to the ring, something happens. We've seen it in Madison Square Garden, we've seen it last time, and can he keep it together in the heat of the moment? And that's a big ask. Usyk, I feel, has just fought the best all the way through his career in their own country and thinks to himself, no matter what you come with, I've got another level. So it's very much like chess this, and everyone's speculating how Usyk will box or how AJ, but no one's speculating how Usyk will box. Usyk might just come out and go, if you want the shootout, let's go. I think Usyk, a bit more like Holyfield, is more comfortable to sit in the pocket and ride the big shots and counter, as you've seen Ruiz did with AJ. So it's a very good fight. If push comes to shove, I have to pick a winner. I'm also going to say Usyk, and I'm also going to be by stoppage. But it'd be good for Britain if AJ won. But at the same time, they always say a good big one beats a good little one. But I think Usyk is an exceptional talent.
The weight, though, the images we've seen of Usyk, it seems like he's put on, he's bulked up a lot. Do you reckon that's a positive or a negative, especially with the way he fights? He's light on his feet, likes to box his opponent. Do you think him bulking up and perhaps coming to the centre of the ring is more harm than good for Usyk?
No, not really. I'm not sure he thinks to himself when he fought first time, when he was up around him, he needs to have a little bit more substance to him and be able to push back. You see AJ in the rematch with Ruiz, he boxed on the outside, and every time he got close, he held. And Usyk's most probably thinking, well, if you're going to try and run at me and we get close and you try and hold me, I need to be physically to be able to push you and pull you off and catch you a short shot. So, AJ looks very slim as well. And it's a huge fight over there. And we'll see what happens.
Johnny Nelson has come out and said if we mentioned talking here that about what fights are there out for AJ. Johnny Nelson came out and said, well, Joshua's not going to fight, not going to be in those big fights, not going to play second fiddle. He should retire. Your thoughts on that?
Well, if he gets beat by Usyk, points close, he's done well. You've got to look at what fighter Usyk. If he gets knocked out, then it's like, well, where does he go from that? Where is the setbacks paves way for the comebacks? Where does he come back against? And if he knocks out against Usyk, who would want to see AJ against Deontay Wilder? I think everyone would be watching it like that, wouldn't they? And yeah, I don't think he would have to, much with Dylan White rematch, much with the type of fight for him, Daniel Dubois, he would really have to start again. A knockout loss it'll be shocking for him, his career and his reputation.